So I promised you a story, and here it is. So I've told you before that I worked in a group home to put myself through college. So this was a home with four different ladies in it, varying degrees of developmental disability, uh, different personalities for sure. One of the issues we had at that group home was the management decided to install a new fire alarm, which normally, yeah, that's a good thing. However, they neglected to train any of us on how to use it. They decided, like, maybe 3 weeks into having the thing, "Oh, wow, we've had a lot of false alarms with this thing. It's expensive when the fire department gets called out for that. Maybe we should have some instructions next to it." So they wrote instructions and put them next to the thing, but, uh, these were very unclearly written, so confusing. Technical writing's very important. And it turned out, which we found out in this story, that they had given us the wrong passcode. So, hooray, hooray for management. You should also know for background of the story that the gal I was working with at the time, wow, she's one of the Earth's special creatures. She really should have been a client. Like some of the stuff she would ask, like, should I put any salt in their food? I'm like, well, why don't you ask them? Really simple, like I thought common sense stuff. For example, one time it was her turn to cook because I was helping clients with other things. I was like, yeah, can you get the water going for the mac and cheese? And she's like, I, I've never made any food ever. I'm like, how did you get this job? Like cooking's half of it. So that's the background for that. So I'm downstairs helping a client with her laundry, and suddenly I hear this whoosh sound from upstairs in the kitchen, and I hear Barbie swearing. Whenever you hear of course I won't repeat it, but whenever you hear Barbie swearing, something's going down. Like she was being quite fluent with her swearing. We'll put it that way. So I get upstairs as quick as I can, and there is a grease fire on the stove. Just full on grease fire, good to go grease fire. And the other staff member is trying to throw water at it. She keeps running to the bathroom sink and trying to throw water on it. Now, some of you may have already spotted the problem here. What do you do with a grease fire? Do you throw water on it? No, that makes the grease spread and start fires elsewhere. That makes it worse. If you have a grease fire in your kitchen or anywhere else, what you do is you first turn off the heat, take the lid and smother it, or you can use baking soda and the lid to smother it. You got to get the oxygen out of that fire to get it to work or to get it to stop. And she was just like crying back through it. I'm like, what are you doing? So at this point, of course, the fire alarm is going off. I managed to get the fire out. I grabbed baking soda from the fridge, dumped it on there, turn it off. So the fire's out, but the fire department has been called, and none of us can figure out how to get this alarm to work. Like I'm putting in the code and swearing, Barbie swearing next to me, like, "You gotta put in the code. There's gonna be a fire department." I'm like, I know the fire department will be here. Talk about stress. So when the trucks arrived, when the fire trucks arrived, the group home ladies, the clients, went from panic to joy. This was a big event for them. They got very, very excited. Some of the firefighters were quite attractive. So my ladies had no hesitation on letting them know that they that they thought they were attractive men. Literally, one of my ladies went, "Hi, cutie," to everyone who came. Every one of them that filed out of that fire truck got greeted with "Hi, cutie." Barb at one point was trying to pet some of them, which I thought, hey, if they're letting you, good on you. Life is short. Take joy when you can. But I think my favorite response and of course I've changed their names, but my favorite response was probably Rhonda's because Rhonda came right, sidles up to me and goes, "Hey, Shorty, there's a fire, Shorty." I was Shorty, of course. I was also Turkey if she was annoyed with me. And she was like, "Hey, Shorty, gonna get you a boyfriend, Shorty. Be your wingman, Shorty." I didn't know that she knew what a wingman was. I was pretty impressed. And she did her best. She kept introducing me while they were checking out the home. She kept introducing me to various firefighters. Like, "This is Monica. She's single. You should talk to her." And I'm like, super, super embarrassing. So we had jokes for weeks. That was one of the good things about this is whenever anything like crazy dramatic would happen in the group home, we had jokes for weeks. My clients really enjoyed that. Here's how I'll end this story. So that evening, everything's calmed down. Fire department's gone. It's all good. I'm doing the paperwork and I get this call from the supervisor, the same one who put in the fire alarm with the wrong code message next to it. And she tried to tell me that I was going to be paying for the fire department visit. And it was one of those rare times in life where you don't hesitate. You just say what you feel. So I told her exactly what I felt and found out, oh, wow, neat. I'm going to get a raise. So instead of having to pay for a problem that was not my problem, I got a raise. So a rare happy ending for a story. So there you go. That's the time that one of the times there was a fire at the group home.